Artemis 2 mission. Sorry if it's a little bad recording, but maybe get a little further away.
Again, to re-entry at any moment. We will not be hearing from the astronauts on integrity.
10 seconds till entry interface. And we have crossed the threshold, now entering the Earth's atmosphere. We're at 400,000 feet, traveling 34,800 feet per second. Time to splash down, 13 minutes, 10 seconds.
This is incredible to witness, and Susan, I gather that's some of the heat right there.
Yes, that's the plasma.
The plasma and the heat surrounding this capsule.
And as predicted, we've entered our communications blackout.
Is what leads to the blackout.
This will be a 6-minute blackout period. No voice, no data from the crew.
No voice, no data from the crew, as we're hearing from NASA right now. Dr. Hakeem Oluseyi, an astrophysicist, science educator, has been with us for our coverage this last.
So if something bad happens?
And Hakeem, you've been great throughout. This is one of the most anxious times of the entire journey.
This is the true test of our trajectory.
Absolutely is. I am sitting on the edge seat just like the rest of you, waiting to see these parachutes deploy and a safe splashdown.
Aircraft in the vicinity of the splashdown.
Let's listen back into NASA, and again, they'll let us know in about 5 minutes now if they have regained communication with those 4 astronauts.
As it enters the period of peak heating in the Earth's atmosphere, the first tug of gravity being felt by Integrity's astronauts since their launch back on April 1st.
And of course, we are thinking of the families of pilot Victor Glover, mission pilot, Reed Weissman,
4.5 minutes until the end of the blackout period.
Christina Cook, 4.5 minutes to go until we hear from them again.
Time
Jeremy
to splash
Hansen,
down, 11 minutes, 33 seconds.
of course, the Canadian astronaut. Everyone on board making history in their own way. The first Canadian to join them in a mission to the moon. This is the first time in many decades since the Apollo missions.
Want to know something crazy?
That we have sent humans back to the moon.
You know,
they made their own history, traveling farther
I
than
forgot the name.
any astronauts who went before them. Going to the far side of the moon and seeing with
those
human
4
eyes
people
parts of the moon that have never been seen before, and sending back
From Marvel.
messages of hope.
Anyways, there was
and
one
those
girl when they went to
extraordinary
space. There was
images
one girl,
they have talked,
like now,
during
and
the press
one of them was
conferences,
even named Reed.
The landing and support officer
So it's kind of
reports that
like
the P3 has acquisition on Integrity.
But they didn't get superpowers.
about the importance of coming
Earth
home.
looks like the moon.
It was Victor Glover himself who said,
3.5 minutes left in this blackout
here you see
period.
it,
This is a visualization
a visualization.
of
So this is similar to the simulations we showed you earlier, only this one is from NASA. Let's listen.
repelling of that heat on Integrity's heat shield.
I was saying Victor Glover, the mission pilot, was asked, what is he most looking forward to? And he said, splashdown. And who could argue with that? He also talked about this being like riding a fireball through the atmosphere, this incredible moment. And this visualization from NASA helps to explain this, why there would be a blackout during this period of time. The families of all of these astronauts.
Flight Dynamics reports that airborne assets in the vicinity of the splashdown zone do have a visual on Integrity. Still 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in our blackout period. Time to splash down, 9 minutes, 35 seconds.
9 minutes until splashdown. Let's keep this visualization, but if we could add, Dave, our director in the control room, Trevor Roll, who is at a watch party at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. And Trevor, I gather, the nerves can be felt in that room right now.
Absolutely, David, and what we we are seeing is basically every single checkpoint that's being hit is being met with thunderous applause. You can hear a smattering right now. That's been happening continuously, 30 seconds after 30 seconds after 30 seconds after. What we've been seeing are generations of families experiencing something that many of these people have never experienced before. I talked with one man here, an 86-year-old grandfather. He said he remembers watching the very first space launches. He remembers the Apollo flights. He remembers those first lunar missions. It inspired him to become a pilot and an engineer. Now, after 45 years of his own flight, he's retired. He is back here tonight with his grandchildren watching Artemis. And then at the same time, we're hearing from young people. There's two people behind me here, Lena, Olivia. These are students at UC San Diego who told me that they can't believe, when they learned about Artemis, they said, I can't believe it's happening in real life and not in the movies. That's how long it has been. What we've been hearing from family after family is that this is something that feels like a previous America would accomplish. Now, of course, we are in that tight window. Will it land safely? And of course, we know everyone's waiting on bated breath, but they are optimistic.
No question about that. A lot of optimism and a lot of prayers across this country tonight as we watch and wait for Artemis 2 to emerge in communication.
Standing by for communications from the crew. We should be out of the blackout period less than a minute from now.
All right, let's listen. Less than a minute here to see if we can regain communications with the 4 astronauts on board. Victor Glover, Reed Weissman, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen.
We are now processing data from Integrity.
Michelle, here is your reminder.
That they are getting data.
Due application
no communications yet with the astronauts, but they are receiving transmission from Integrity.
Well, this is great news.
Landing and support officer reports the small boats are en route to the splashdown target zone.
The vessels carrying the divers. Members of the U.S. Navy standing by to race to that splashdown zone. And Susan, tell us what we're looking at right here.
It's the visual. It's the camera view of the reentry.
Oh, that's still coming.
It's not no longer a visualization.
Oh.
And, you know, it looks healthy.
Well, they mentioned 6 minutes. We knew they would be 6 excruciating minutes, particularly.
Passing through 150,000 feet, our trajectory is perfect. We're getting intermittent views of Integrity. Still waiting to establish voice communication.
Integrity Houston, comm check post blackout.
Oh no, it was doing
Integrity, we have you loud and clear.
Incredible.
Your trajectory is nominal, and your recovery teams have visual.
So there you go.
Looks good.
Artemis 2 responding
No action for the enabled internal camera controller fail.
to mission control.
Big cheers from the viewing room here in Mission Control as voice communication reestablished with Commander Reed Wiseman. For America and a waiting world, Integrity is 5.5 minutes away from coming home.
Well, it's not often when you sit here at the anchor desk when you feel chills. This is certainly one of them. History being made tonight, Artemis 2. The first mission
100,000 feet now.
in many decades taking humans back to the moon. In fact, they went farther than
Range to splashdown 19 nautical miles.
19 nautical miles until splashdown. We were expecting it at about 8:06 or so Eastern time, 8:07 perhaps. So just about 5 minutes from now.
The hour ahead.
They mentioned those divers are already en route. They clearly know where, certainly the
Integrity impact to the camera controller fail is no Cab 1 views of the chutes.
we were expecting, hoping that we might get a view of some of these parachutes, though we're not entirely sure we
We're
will.
processing good data through the GPS system. A good view of Integrity. Time to splashdown 4.5 minutes.
4.5 minutes to splashdown. There's an elaborate sequence of parachutes here. The first deployed at
And a
around.
view of Integrity from the WB-57.
There you go.
Yeah.
We're at 50,000 feet.
Just $50.
At around 22,000 feet, you'll see the first parachutes here. Part of this sequence of chutes. I saw some movement right there. Was that a... There it is. You can see a flash of something. Not entirely sure. It's one of the
pyros
chutes.
are on for forward bay cover jettison.
A flicker of something just above.
Here, you're going to see the drug, jettison, and then
What?
the drug
It's gonna
chutes.
fall. And they're
And they
head
deploy at
first.
about 22,000 feet, right,
Right,
Susan?
and they're
Yes,
the
I know.
first ones to come out.
Yeah.
Oh,
There they
There
are.
they are.
There they are right there.
And then
And they're
they
doing the first series of
other ones
parachutes.
right away.
And we're on drogues.
And Houston, we're visual 2 drones out the window.
The drug.
Those parachutes right there will slow the spacecraft to about 200 miles an hour.
Next up,
We copy. We see them.
the deployment of pilot parachutes that will pull the main chutes out. Time to splash down 3 minutes and 10 seconds.
Well, it's just incredible to think for human beings inside that capsule, right? Who have just seen the far side of the moon and come back to tell us about it. And what a bond we've witnessed from them. The hug,
Perfect descent rate according to flight dynamics.
Good rate on 2 drogues.
the symbol of the heart in their photographs
On board.
that they sent back. And they named one of the craters in the moon that they discovered themselves after Reed Weissman's late wife, Carol. She died in 2020 of cancer. They'd been together for decades. And one of his fellow astronauts
Passing through 10,000 feet,
spoke of the moment.
still on drogues.
Because Reed couldn't say it himself, though he was moved, certainly, that the astronauts decided, let's name it after your late wife, Carol. So many stories they'll share with us. There's the second set right there.
Main chute deploy. We're at 5,000 feet.
The crew
Search and
met with-
recovery beacon has been activated on integrity.
the search and recovery beacon activated for those Navy divers who are
And we
now
have
racing to the
three
site.
chutes. Good 3 main chutes, good reefing, good descent rate.
Right, and we see 3 good-looking parachutes.
This is picture perfect.
Integrity. Cabin pressure indicates no need for hydrazine checks.
Integrity copies.
So you guys can see the actual space.
This is a perfect descent for integrity. Its crew sounding hale and hearty on board.
Glad to hear it.
Time to splash down 1 minute, 15 seconds.
1 minute, 15 seconds until splashdown in the Pacific Ocean off of San Diego. The USS John Murtha is in the region. Navy divers will race to the craft. They will deploy that inflatable around the
Integrity
capsule.
about to complete a journey spanning 694,481 miles from its launch from the Kennedy Space Center back on April 1st, and a trip around the moon.
I mean, these are words you have not heard in decades in this country. There are a lot of viewers watching tonight who remember this from the Apollo mission, that several of them, those missions, but of course, a whole younger generation witnessing something that they've only read about in the history books.
That's
A
fun.
little flash there of the capsule.
Passing through 1,000 feet.
Those 3 parachutes, of course, the end of that sequence, and certainly the ones that are doing most of the work in trying to slow this capsule, slow integrity down to about 20 miles per hour. There's the splashdown.
oh, okay.
Splashdown confirmed.
Copy splashdown. Waiting on VLDR.
Splashdown confirmed at 7:07 p.m. Central Time, 5:07 p.m. Pacific Time.
which, by the way, is exactly when NASA said it would happen, 7 minutes past the hour.
A new chapter of the exploration of our celestial neighbor is complete. Integrity's astronauts back on Earth.
Back on Earth, in the Pacific. The divers will get there. They will look at the outside of Integrity to make sure.
And the landing and support officer reports the vehicle is stable 1.
Stable, there you go.
We still will be deploying the crew module uprighting system to maintain that orientation. A perfect bullseye splashdown for Integrity and its 4 astronauts.
I don't want to end, but I know I can't. Oh my God, what is that?
We can breathe.
We can. We just want to see them now, right? And they will get to the craft, the divers, and as I was mentioning earlier, I just don't like to talk over NASA because they're so fascinating. I'm having fun listening in on them as well. But they will check the exterior of the capsule to make sure that there isn't any significant damage, to make sure it's safe to open the latch.
The unofficial splashdown time, 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m. Central Time. We'll get that refined for you.
Well, now they're just showing off. That's exactly when we said it would happen.
31 minutes, 35 seconds.
Oh my God, my hand.
There will be an initial check.
Configuring for a very low data rate.
They will initially check to make sure that all of the astronauts are feeling okay. And then they're going to take
splashdown occurring in the Pacific, southwest of San Diego at 7:07 and 47 seconds p.m.
Integrity Houston, comm check on VLDR.
Houston, we have you loud and clear on VLDR. Hollis.
We have you the same. We'll meet you over in
making their way to Integrity.
Perfect communications established.
We are told this is the first time that the U.S. Navy has teamed up with NASA to get to the crew on board, those 4 astronauts.
Houston, copies all.
3 Americans, 1 Canadian.
4 green crew members. That is not their complexion. That is the fact that they're in great condition. That's what that means. So stable 1, upright. The crew module uprighting system is being deployed. The 5 airbags being inflated through helium to maintain the upright configuration for the vehicle. This was a textbook entry and a textbook touchdown for Integrity. Reed Wiseman, Victor Glover, Christina Cook, and Jeremy Hansen back on Earth after a journey around the moon.
Yeah, that's going to be impressive at the Thanksgiving dinner to be able to say that we were the ones up there. We know that standing by are 2 Navy MH-60 helicopters. They actually have cameras on them. We're getting some of these images from those helicopters. They're going to be carrying them to the nearby ship, the USS Mirtha, which is waiting. They're going to put 2 of the astronauts on each helicopter. And I believe Christina Cook is going to be the first to emerge. Do we know who will emerge from the capsule?
Christina Cook is first.
Yeah. She'll be first, which seems appropriate. And Susan, you know all too well the relief, the sighs for those families waiting to see their loved ones.
We continue
I imagine there were tears from all of them. Every one of them. Tears of joy, of relief, of happiness. They must have held their breath for the last 30 minutes.
Reed Wiseman reporting 4 green crew members, meaning they're all in excellent shape.
Who knew that green crew members is code for excellent shape? Usually when you see someone green. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they did look a little green after what they've just been through. But that's not what it means. It simply means they are in great shape. The divers reaching.
Our beacon is in 406, and we're powering your radio now. Go ahead.
We see the beacon on. However, the recovery team is not seeing the signal. Your SAR radio uses the same antenna, so you may run into trouble with the radio.
Take up here. We're also powering up.
And extraordinary moment where we will see the hatch lifted,
Wait, is that mine?
and then the astronauts, again, as I mentioned, will be checked
You got another one.
for a quick medical evaluation before something far more extensive on board the USS Merca.
As the crew continues its post-splashdown,
They'll be taken away by those two helicopters.
on board. Verizon once again reporting that all 4 crew members are in excellent shape. And we have 5 inflated airbags to maintain an upright configuration.
I want to bring in Dr. Aaron Anderson. He's an emergency medicine physician trained in aerospace engineering. You would know better than us that when you hear they're green, which means they're in excellent health, I'm hearing from the commander, Reed Weissman, who's in the capsule, who says the rest of the 3 are in perfect health. That's got to be great news for you to hear too, Dr. Anderson.
After a thorough system check.
Yeah, that's as good as it gets, and that's kind of the first evaluation of the astronaut crew. Is they all kind of look left and right, give each other the thumbs up, and when the first recovery team gets there and takes a look in the hatch, they kind of do this similar and make sure that everybody's feeling okay before, you're right, they go on to do more extensive medical evaluation and even a little bit of research testing as soon as they get their feet on solid ground again.
They were given the opportunity to stay at a hotel in San Diego for a little time to readjust before being taken to Houston. But Dr. Anderson, I gather they'll go straight to Houston. Look what they've just been through.
Yeah, I think they're probably eager first to see their families, eager to, I think, greet the people of the world.
Okay, I'm going to leave it like that, okay?
Celebrate
Can
this
you put it
exciting
back up
journey
with your
we're
paws?
on.
Cody Page also with us here
Can you
tonight,
put
National Geographic
tablet back
Explorer,
up with your
professor
paws?
of mechanical engineering at Columbia, and the former director
What you
of
mean?
MIT
If it
Space
falls over,
Exploration
could you put it
Initiative.
back up?
Cody,
You finished with it?
I know you have studied all too well
Mom,
the re-entry
I haven't
and the
painted out
stakes
some
and
board.
knowing that heat
Huh?
shield, the job it had to perform.
I'm tired from putting that.
You don't want to stop it?
Exactly as NASA was hoping.
No, I want to record the whole thing. I'm just going to go.
But that's not an issue. What is more important is
Cody, can you hear me?
solid.
Yes, yeah. It's honestly, sorry, I was listening to that, but it's been, the whole mission, I feel like, has just been incredible, that it's been exactly how it's supposed to be. So the way that heat shield worked and the parachutes deployed and everything, the timing, it's a testament to exactly how perfectly NASA plans these things. So exciting.
It really is. Cody, thanks so much. Dr. Oluseyi also still with us. The anxiety gone? We wanted to check back in with you and make sure you're breathing okay.
Oh man, I had a huge sigh of relief when I saw that 3rd parachute that looked like it was having a little trouble fully deployed, right? And now it made it safely.
It's really incredible news. Now we just wait to see the divers get to the capsule and open the hatch. Hakeem, thanks so much. Asa Stahl, also with us, science editor from the Planetary Society.
Houston did not call.
The history that's been made right here tonight with generations watching. And as I mentioned earlier, so many of our viewers remember the Apollo missions, but there are so many others who have not witnessed something quite like this before.
Yeah, this was truly spectacular. I mean, I realized I was holding my breath, but I was at the launch and it felt... Sorry, just...
Yeah, we can hear you. Please go. Yeah, you're
okay,
you're
cool.
just fine.
I just also heard the NASA broadcast. Yeah, it was at the launch just as almost surreal to see that we actually did it. It worked. And it was just so inspiring to see this is what we're capable of if we only try, if we make the investment in ourselves and in NASA. So I think a lot of people, millions of people around the world are seeing this and feeling inspired and ready to celebrate.
And Asa, take us through these next few steps, because this really was the first step in what could be an extraordinary next couple of years here. The next Artemis mission will do some additional testing, and then the one that follows could be the one that actually lands on the moon.
That's exactly right. And I tell you, after watching this, I can't wait for the next one. 2026 or 2027 could not come soon enough. That's when Artemis 3 will happen. As you just said, that's going to be another crewed flight test, but it's not going to go to the moon and back like Artemis 2 has. It's going to test out the spacecraft and docking procedures in orbit around Earth. And then Artemis 4, if all goes well, will happen in 2028, and that will be the actual lunar landing mission. And then it's hopefully off to the races.
And Asa, we know
do this every 6 months.
And we know that 2 astronauts will be on board that mission to land.
Yes, that's right.
Really just incredible. And good for you for being at the launch as well, remembering both ends of this extraordinary journey. Let's listen to mission control.
All right, Jackie, we just selected T/D+30. No joy on Star Radio or cell phone. And stand by, we have the master driver on Star Radio. Please hold comms. Hey, Lily. Excuse me. Hey, Jackie, we just got the master driver on Star.
.822 was the timing that NASA had said there would be a capsule power down, is what they call it. There is some word that power down might be somewhat delayed here, but you can see those teams.
Good view of one of the fast boats.
There you go.
Houston, if you are happy with your comm with Master Diver, you can go back to the 15-minute power down.
One of the fast boats circling Integrity right now.
Okay, stand by. Yeah, we'll confirm here in a second.
They were able to get
Crew on board Integrity coordinating with the flight control team in Houston here in Mission Control on the timing of the power down of the vehicle, which will be the precursor to the recovery teams approaching the spacecraft.
Okay, bye guys. I'm not getting tired. I'm not getting tired. I'm just holding. I'm holding it. Fuck it. Go a second. Anyways.